Hi, subscribe to my channel Shobha Rana for more.
As human beings, we have a need to control. Control makes us happy. Let me rephrase that. Control makes us think that we are happy.
True.
Okay. Or thinking that we have control or the illusion of control makes us happy. So I will walk into a room and if everything looks under control, I'm okay. But if there's a raging fire somewhere, I'm uncertain. Now I'm anxious, right? Because I can't control that fire.
True.
If you tell me that there's a poisonous cobra somewhere in this room, even if I can't see it, I won't be sitting comfortably here because that's something I can't control. So we want to control everything around us. So even if there's an illusion of control, we will be very happy. I feel that one of the reasons why we try so hard to fix something is because we feel that we can't control it and that is making us unhappy. We have to come to terms with what can we control and what can we not. There are certain things that we can't control. We have to accept that because many times what happens is we spend way too much time and energy on things we can't control and we ignore the things we can. And overall, your life is worse off because of it. So in this case, if there's a family member who would not stop drinking, because we are so frustrated with our lack of control, many people will prefer cutting off entirely because they are unable to remain in that zone where they're trying and they're not able to do it.
True.
Right? But then I believe that's also not
The
ideal.
best way or the ideal way.
Correct.
Of
Because,
course.
and this is where I really find a lot of sense in Bhagavad Gita's core
Yes.
advice, which is just do your job.
Yeah, empathy and compassion shouldn't be conditional.
Just do your job. What is your role in that moment? What is your role? What do you think is your role? You do that, and whether or not that action has the intended effect or not, that is not in your control. So somehow I'm in awe of how Stoicism as a philosophy was described in the Bhagavad Gita so many, many years ago.
Right.
And even today, that fundamental truth still holds. Understand what you can control and what you can't. And one of the things you can't control is the result of your actions. What you can control is your action. Focus on your action. And over time, you will find that your life is better.
Right. And like I was saying, this empathy and compassion shouldn't be conditional. This is something that I learned personally from my own journey, that, we are empathetic and compassionate towards people until a point we feel that we can control them or we can make them do what we want to do. When that control goes loose, we're like, this person is the worst, right? So
Like, I love you as long as you're replying to my texts. If you stop replying, then I don't love you anymore.
It's a whole lot
So
of work.
was that love?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of work to develop that kind of compassion and empathy.
Correct.
It's still a work in progress, but I know if you scratch the surface, at least something will start to happen there. This awareness. I think a lot of things can become better when they come in your awareness.
Yeah.
A lot of these things, since they are in our blind spots, we do nothing about them.
And the reason that they are in our blind spots is because having them there keeps us safe.
True.
You don't want to keep thinking of the things that you don't have control over. You would much rather ignore them. Which is why we don't think about rising sea levels, for example. Is it really in our control? Do we know? Is there something we can do? Let's not think about it. We don't think about climate change. We don't think about a lot of things. I mean, and this I'm talking in a global level. If there's nothing we can do, it's so much easier to ignore it. It's that ostrich phenomenon, put your head in the sand. That's what we do. And it's for our own protection, because otherwise it would literally drive us crazy. If we keep thinking about all the things we can't control, it will drive us crazy. It will paralyze us. This is called it's called decision paralysis, where if there are too many things to decide, you will not be able
to decide anything.
There's a poem, I forgot the poem, but the concept it's called the centipede's dilemma. So centipede has around 100 legs and it's walking around. And if you ask the centipede, wait, how do you know which leg you will put forward next? Now it suddenly can't walk because it's so confused.
Otherwise, it's a mechanism.
Otherwise, it's just going along. So that's how we live. Most of us, that's how we live. Just through habit.